Hi everyone, it's Justine here from House of Mahalo. Thanks so much for joining me. So I'm here to use up yet more of these book pages. So far we've made pocket pages for journals and we've done stuff with normal envelopes. Today I want to do some stuff with window envelopes. So these are just what bills come in, so junk mail. Now I've chosen these images because as nice as these are, I'm not a huge fan of these compared with the other pages that we've used so far. So that's why I've chosen those for today, and you'll see why it works for this kind of thing in a minute. So what I've got here is I've got various envelopes of different sizes but all with windows. And all I've done is I've just folded up the bottoms so that they cover the bottom of the window by a smidge. And what that gives us is the basis of a really nice pocket. So what we can have is, obviously it needs tidying up, but we can have a pocket in the side and whatever you put in there will be seen in the window. And then we can also make this front a pocket as well. Now I have done this in my Edith Holden series or something similar, but for today we're doing it with different images. So I want to start by just having a look at each envelope and tidying them up where appropriate. So in this case I just want to cut off where it was a bit messy. And what we're also looking for is the width of the envelope as well, to make sure that, just make sure that's definitely straight. We want to make sure that the width of the envelope is actually going to fit in our journals. So this is fine. I'll just tell you, this comes out as 3.5 by 6.5. So that's perfect for really lots of sized journal pages. Whereas this one is so much wider. If I were to leave it, this would be 5.5 inches wide, which is just going to be too wide for most of my journals. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to actually just use this white bit as a guide and just chop that off. Okay, now I have got both sides open, that's fine. We'll deal with that in a minute, and that's fine. And then this one, I just want to take a little bit off the side here. So I think that takes it to something like 3 3/4 inches maybe. Oh, just shy of 4. That's fine. Again, a nice size for most of my projects. So we're done with the trimmer, so I can finally pop that away. And then I'm not going to keep those. There's nothing there to keep. If it was something else, if we were cutting off the bottoms from the envelopes, and like we did in the Edith Holden series, then I would have done something else with them. Okay, so we have our bases ready. So before we think about the pockets, we want to use our book pages to go around the window. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold it over the top, and I'm just going to aim for where my window is. So if I hold it there, I'm just looking to where the window is, so I know that I want to just tear off this piece. I don't want to go past my window, so I'm just checking as to where things are. So I'm going to hold that there, like that. Again, I'm just keeping an eye on my window. That's it. And then I want to come down here. Again, just keeping an eye on that window. And it doesn't matter if it doesn't go perfect. That's the whole point of this, is it's a bit junky. Okay, that's it. And then I want to just tear along here, like that. Now, I'm not worried about this bit. I'm going to sort that out in a minute. This is just how I'm choosing to do it, because that's so thin. Yeah, I'm going to do something else with that. So that's what we're left with. Don't know if I should have maybe brought it up a little bit. But no, that's fine. I'm just gonna use it as is. So all I'm gonna do is just put some glue all the way around here. I'm just going below my window, but not a huge amount, just enough that I know everything will be covered. That's it. As I say, very, very simple today. And then I'm just going to pop that back where it was. It's about there-ish. That's it. And then we're just going to glue that down. Now for this bit here, there's lots of things I could do. I could come in and put this in, which I think I might actually do. So let's pop some glue here. And I'm not going to ink it because I don't want it to be noticeable that this is what I'm doing. But there's lots of things I could do. I could have done. I could have used like some different text. I could have used like music sheet. I could have used washi like underneath the book page. There's lots of things that I could have done. You know, in this case, I've decided to keep it as the book page, just because I felt like it. Okay, and then what we're going to do is just cut around our envelope. Now obviously I'm going to have a pocket folded up here, so to make things easy for myself, I'm just going to find where my pocket is. So what we'll do is when we fold that up, that will all be hidden. So then I'll just cut this bit off here. Sorry, I'm making crash bang wallop today. And then just cut along the top. And then, don't know if that's moved, so I'm just gonna neaten this bit up here. Okay. So just probably put those in my scrap box to use in a master board. So then we have this. I might want to come in with some inking because I didn't ink before I stuck everything down, but that's fine. I can sort that out later. Okay, so I do need my trimmer again. I lied. Because what I want to do is I just want to make sure that these, this is cut off from a previous project, so I just want to trim that up. And then in this case, I just want to join these two pieces together. You won't need to do this in most cases, it's just if I'm using up leftovers and things. So. Okay, so I was just tidying that up so it's all trimmed down nice. So that's what we've currently got. As I say, I would prefer not to have that top bit up there. So I'm going to do something different on the next one. Same sort of concept really. So let's grab another image. Let's go with this one. Sorry, I've got bits and bobs all over my desk. So I'm just going to do this one on screen again, just to make it absolutely clear what it is that I'm doing. So again, I'm just holding the page where I think it should be. And then I actually am going to bring it down just a tad because I want more of the green if I can manage it. Okay, so again, we're just going to see where our window is, and that's the part that we're going to start tearing. You just have to go slow with it, you know. Obviously the idea is it is going to be a little bit junky, but you know, we're going slow, we're taking our time, we're checking where that window is. I think it's that. And yeah, we're just trying something a bit different. I can't remember where I saw this idea. It might have been Tanya from Tatty Treasure. It might have been Dee Dee Farrago. Might have been both. I genuinely can't remember. But it's from my Edith Holden series. That's where I remember it from. Now, just finding where that window is. There we go. And what I might do actually is not tear along here, but just tear this bit out. That's it. And then we can just glue that all the way down. So again, same as before, just put glue all over our envelope here. And a bit further down where that pocket is going to be in the front, so that we know everything is covered. And then just go for it there. Now I'm not inking my pages. Don't ask me why, I don't know. I'm just choosing not to today. I think I'm liking this torn edge around the window. Just as is. I almost like it's, you know, this old book page and it's all just torn away and stuff. Like, for me, I like that, and I feel like if I were to add ink to it, I don't know, for me, I worry that maybe it would turn out grungy or dirty, which I don't personally make my journals super grungy, as most of you know, so that's kind of just what I'm going with. Okay, and then we can cut around our envelope again. So I just wanted to do a couple so that you could see exactly what I was doing. I'm hoping that it was clear enough on video. It's hard to describe, but basically you're just tearing around your window. And now we have this, which for me is a lot more toned down from the original image because there's less of it. That's kind of why I'm doing these pockets this way, is so that I can just tone them down a little bit. So we're going to have that to work with. So I'll get the last one done. I will do that one off camera because I think hopefully it's clear what I'm doing. This is the image I'm using. And then when I've done that, I'll come back and we will carry on turning these into pretty pockets. Because obviously we need to cover up the front here and we can add some further decoration. So I'll be right back. Alright, so I've got my bases all ready now. Whilst I had you on pause, I've just put some music sheet in my windows so that when you pull the card out, you've still got something nice to look at. Okay, so from here, I thought I would use the rest of the book page to decorate my pockets. Now, obviously, things are not going to line up amazingly, but I just thought it would bring a bit more of the pattern in rather than lose it all. So I think the easiest thing for us to do is just to glue the pocket part. Whoop. Okay, and then I'm just going to slide this along. And then just make sure that the pocket is covered. Probably going to put some crochet trim along there anyway, so I don't expect it to be perfect. Right, that'll do. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that to dry before I try and cut into it. So let's get the next one. For the third one, I'm not going to use the rest of the book page because I didn't think it wasn't as nice as these others, I didn't think. So this one I'm actually going to try and line up this stalk a little bit. That's that. Just to make sure all of the blue is covered. But as I say, it doesn't need to be perfect because the crochet will hide any sins. Yeah, so for this one, I didn't want to use more of the purple. So I actually thought for this one, I'm going to use an offcut from the music sheet. And then I'll just have to decorate this one up more than the others. Or I might do something interesting with fussy cuts, labels, I don't know, something. I haven't quite worked it out yet. But we'll just see what happens. So just pop that on there. Saves it going to my scrap bin as well. Okay, again, just making sure it's covered, but ink and crochet and everything will hide our sins. Okay, right, where's my scissors? So that one can go over there. Right, let's just try and cut this as neatly as we can without cutting into the pocket, the envelope. I don't know if it might be easier just to tear it. I don't know why I put my ruler away. I'm just gonna see how I feel about that. Yeah, just with a little bit of tidying up, I think that will look fine. I kind of like the idea of these being maybe a little bit more rustic, just because of the botanicals and things, and the images are quite vintage, so that's that one. Looking good so far. Tearing was definitely easiest though. And then that way I can say I've used the entire book page, can't I? By using it along here as well. Just make sure you don't cut into your pocket part, which I know we haven't glued up yet, but we'll be doing that in a minute. Oop. Okay, there we go. Now let's get these bits off my desk. There you go. All right, so that's how those are looking. Liking them so far. Right, so I think I need to do some inking. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll come back and start gluing up our pockets and then start decorating. Okay, so I think these are ready for gluing up now. So I'm just giving them all a little bit of a burnish down just to make sure they're all nice and flat. Okay, so I'm going to glue up this pocket at the front first. So just doing the two sides. So that gives us the little pocket in the front. I love that. And then from here you just need to glue up one of the sides of the envelope if you've got both sides open, because obviously I was cutting each side of the envelope down when preparing these. So I think for this one I'm going to have this side closed. So you just run your glue all the way along. I don't know why I picked that side. I think I was just thinking from like how it would look on a page. You know, I would probably have this be on this side, so you'd pull from there. It just kind of felt right, and that's all I can really say about, you know, choosing which way round it's going to be. And then I think I just need to get in here. A bit of glue as well. That's it. Sorry if I'm pulling things to me at the moment. There we go. So same again. So just glue up our front pocket. That's it. Might need to hold it down sometimes. Things don't like to be glued, especially when they're thick, I suppose. And then what you might find, which I think is the case with this one, is you might end up having like a little pocket in the front there. You can keep that in if you want, that's just part of the envelope, or you can cover it up. So with this one, I think I'm going to glue this side, just because I feel like this is going to be a lot stronger than the other side, so I'll glue that. Okay. I'm really liking how these are looking, considering I didn't like the book pages as much as some of the others, the other ones that I had in this, from this book. So I'm just going to glue up this little pocket because I don't want, for me 2 pockets is enough for this piece, but if you wanted that extra pocket in the front, you know, this side bit here in the front, then you could absolutely do that. Just glue up one side and leave the other side open. Then you could have a little secret pocket. Okay, I think that's all glued down well. So now we've got this great big card, and then whatever you use will obviously decorate your window as well. Oh, I so love to use window envelopes. I really do. I don't mind getting a bill now. A bill in the post if it comes in these envelopes. Okay, and then once again, even though this side is thinner, I will keep that side open just because this is quite wide, so I think I would actually prefer that to be closed up. So yeah, all of mine are opening on the same side, but that's okay. They're not all going in the same journal. Obviously, if you were doing them for the same journal, you might want to alternate what side your pockets are open on. Okay, so that's those. That's how those are looking so far. Right. Okay, so decoration. So I know that I definitely want to have some crochet trim. So I'm going to come back to this one because it's slightly different with that music page on the pocket. I think I'll have to do something a bit different with that one. But these two, I'll definitely put the crochet trim along them. This is just crochet trim I got from Amazon. It came in a bundle of, you know, a variety of different trims. I'm just pushing it up so that we've got that nice neat edge. Feels good to be working with florals and greenery and things again. Just pop some on that one as well. I do love these pockets. So I made some in my Edith Holden series. And yeah, I love them. It's one of those things, if you don't sit down to do them, to use your envelopes and use your book pages, it's just, you can forget about these pieces of ephemera that you really enjoy making. So yeah, I'm enjoying these. Okay, so I'm going to focus on these two. I am going to come back to that one because I need to have a little bit of a think about what I'm doing with that front pocket. But I'm loving how these are looking. So I've got some numbers along here, and I have some offcuts from the music sheet. And I didn't know if it would be too boxy to just to put that along there somehow. So I'm just going to ink it and see, just because those numbers do look a little bit funny. I mean, I don't mind the numbers, it's just more the fact of it's just a row of numbers and the one is missing. It seems a bit strange to me, I suppose. This is what I'm thinking. So if I do something like that, I think that would look okay. Obviously, using the book pages and the envelopes and things, they are a little bit like not scrappy looking, but it's definitely got that junky kind of vibe to it, hasn't it? The kind of thing. So, something like that, and then I can just sort of cut off the excess maybe. Okay, that's fine. And then likewise, this one has that blank space at the top. So I wondered if there was something I could do with this offcut. I don't want it to look quite as straight as that, so looks like an aeroplane. I don't know. It's that funny end there. So I'm just going to see if I can make that a little bit less funny looking. Yeah, I think that looks fine at the top. Feels good to get some scraps used up as I make them as well. That can be tricky to do sometimes. You end up with all these scraps that you put away in your scrap box. And then if you're anything like me, you then ignore that scrap box for a while until eventually you think, oh, I'd best sit down and do some scrap busting. It's, hopefully it's not just me who's like that. Okay, and then just cut those bits off at the side. That's it. There we go. And then just ink that part. Very different vibe from when I did the Edith Holden ones, but you know, yeah, Secret Garden does have a different vibe for me, a little bit more rustic in there. Okay, so we've got that. I think I want to have a look for some labels. Possibly some butterflies, but I don't think they're going to want heaps, if I'm honest. And then for this one, I'm just going to have a look for some fussy cuts. I'm thinking some flowers and things, because I do like these ones with the greenery and the flowers, you know, brought down. So I'm just going to hit pause whilst I have a little rifle around, and I'll be right back. Right then, I've got some bits and bobs out. Of course, I have butterflies and some labels and different things. So I really like that light blue colour with the pink. So I'm thinking oh, that's pretty, isn't it? Yeah, something like that maybe. I don't know if we want a label at the bottom. Just got a dictionary definition of flora. But I kind of prefer it without, so maybe not, maybe just the butterflies on that one. I like this, I know it's a moth rather than a butterfly, but I like the boldness with that red. And maybe a label. Something like that. I would like to put the label on the opposite side from the butterfly, but I prefer it on the opposite side from the flowers. So I think that's okay there. Something like that. And then similar to that, I'm wondering about these butterflies. Some of the purple. And then I put some crochet down here because I did want to have that, and then I thought I'll just work around that size wise. So I've got this little fox. I'll just move those over, you can't really see that. And then I thought I might try and build something around him. I've got Woodland Mystery. Something like that maybe. Obviously inked up will look different again. So yeah, that's just I'm sure it will all come together. Yeah, I've enjoyed making these. Obviously these were using the book pages that I wasn't that I liked, but I wasn't as fussed about them for making ephemera. So I've been ignoring them, but it feels good to now finally give them a job to do. And once you add all the fussy cuts and labels and lace and whatever else you want to embellish things with, they really do, things really do come together, don't they? I'm still umming and ahhing about whether to have anything down the bottom or not. I have to have a think about that one. I can always add more to them later, can't I? I just like to be able to show things finished because I like you to see the prettiness of things, because I do find, you know, you're much more likely to get your stuff out to join me if I'm able to show you something pretty. Sometimes it's just a bit tricky as to think exactly what to put on them, and then you can always add more when you actually come to use them. Because sometimes I find with embellishing is it becomes easier once you know what they're next to, you know, like in the journal I mean, like what's on the opposite page, what's in the pocket, that kind of a thing. I don't know what I'm having in the windows, I haven't thought that far ahead. I just really today was just simply about getting these book pages on their way to being something. I'm liking it with the butterflies. I actually don't think I would have some, well, I'm umming and ahhing. And clearly my tongue is umming and ahhing about staying in my mouth. I was just about to say, because of how decorative they are around the outsides with all of the florals and things, like they're quite, there's quite a lot of busyness going on. I was going to say that I might end up having something not plain but less exciting in the window. Then the other part of me, which is why I tripped over my tongue, is saying, oh, but you want something pretty in the window that like deserves to be in the window, if that makes sense. So I'm umming and ahhing. Part of me would love it if it was just, you know, like an invoice type image. Something with a vintage kind of vibe. That's kind of what I'm thinking. But until I know what that thing is, you know, I'm not sure. Not sure. We'll see, won't we? But I'm loving how these are looking. And now that they are actually pockets for me to fill and use and do something with. I know I keep saying about it. Finally, I've turned my book pages into things, but honestly, I have had those. Oh, I was going to put that underneath. I have had these in my stash for such a long time. Like, so long, I couldn't even tell you what book they came out of or anything. It was a book, like one of the very first botanical books I ever bought for junk journal reasons. I must have seen somebody using it. All I can think is I must have seen someone using it. Now, what I am thinking actually, sorry, just Marla dozen brain wearing think words stuff must come out of them out somehow. I was just thinking about well, I don't know if it'll be too much, but I didn't know if, I suppose because we've got the butterflies up there, I was going to say it felt like it needed another little something down there, but I don't know what. I just feel like it wants more colour down here. I mean, I'll tell you what I do have. I've got like these little, these were from a card making kit. And I've got all these like, you know, that's a little flower or something. I don't know. Instead of a butterfly, I don't know. Oh, I like that actually. Let's go for it. Pop it down. So I hope that you've enjoyed seeing these come together. I hope it's been interesting, and I hope that it's inspired you to use some envelopes, use some book pages, make something. I've enjoyed making these, I really have. I'm just going to see if I want another one of those little flowers. I had some pink ones there. Be nice. Do I want a trio of flowers, or am I going flower overboard now? I just felt like it needed some colour at the bottom because the others had this, you know, this colour stuff. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to glue them down and worry about it later. No, I'm not worried. It's one of those things, is if you like it, then that's all that matters. And I know I keep saying that, but it's just because I need to keep reminding myself that that's how art works, is, you know, you can't be anyone else, that you can only be yourself, and you can only go with what you like and everything. So you know, if something doesn't work out exactly how somebody else made it, don't worry about those things, because just as long as you like it, even if it turned out differently from what you expect, it's it really is the main thing. So I'm going to stop my waffling. I have no idea how long this video is actually going to be, so I might need to cut some bits out. But yeah, that's those. So we've got a nice big window pocket, a pocket in the front for each of those. Yeah, I'm happy with those. Very different from what I had in my head when I started the project, but that's fine. I'm happy with them. They are now going to go into my secret garden things, which I've got so much ephemera. I'm going to have lots to play with, which is great. But equally, these are colours and everything that I use often. So I'm not worried if they don't end up going in the secret garden journals. Sorry, I'm just tidying away as I speak, because otherwise I never get a chance to do it. So anyway, I will leave it there. I hope that has been interesting to see. I hope it was clear what I was trying to do. I hope it, you know, I hope you could follow along with that. So now we just need to find something nice for the window. As I say, I'm leaning more towards it being less busy in the window, and then just letting those outer florals do their thing. But I definitely prefer it, I think, with the rest of the floral image onto the pocket as well. I do think I prefer that. I like that one, but I just feel like those were a little bit easier to sort, to come together with. Anyway, I'll stop waffling. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope you like them. And as always, I will see you on the next video. Bye bye for now.